Good afternoon. It's Thursday the 2nd of May and spring is finally here. So it's been 3 weeks nearly since I ran the Manchester Marathon 2024. Quite a bit of time off, just been doing like some easy running, but hardly running at all. Today was the first time I've put a little bit of tempo in. Feels really hard again, you know, when you're building yourself back up. Yeah, so I thought I'd just make a video reviewing Manchester, sort of behind the scenes and how it went and what's next for me. A lot of people asking what is next. First off, I'd like to say thank you for the support. The video did really well. It's about 10,000 views, but really for the support on leading to the race weekend, pre-race, during the race, on the road. Spoke to so many people on the road, especially after as well, so many people. Yeah, it was a bit overwhelming actually, to be honest. A lot of people on the day, but it was great to meet you all, great to talk to you all. Thanks for the support really, and especially, you know, after people know that I didn't get sub 3. So yeah, it's been pretty nice of you all. So it was the third time I've run Manchester, the trilogy. It didn't go my way, wasn't the goal, wasn't the time I wanted, but even though I ran my slowest Manchester time of the 3 times I've run it, not that, you know, not massively slow, but it was the slowest, I actually felt the most positive after I'd finished the run and felt physically the best I've ever felt in a late stage marathon and crossing the line of a marathon. Weird, I know it's confusing, so you're probably asking, well, if you felt the best you've ever felt, how come you ran the slowest time? And I'll go into that. The positives of the run, well, late stage marathon compared to 2022 and 2023 was night and day. If you look at 2022 and 2023, the exact same thing happened to me post 35k, late stage marathon as I call it. Broken, suffering, survival mode, hating it, wanting it to end, just aerobically dying, physically breaking apart. And then you compare it to this year, late stage, post 35k, crossing the line, unbelievable, just cruising, chilling, I'm talking to people, I've crossed the line with a smile on my face, physically feel absolutely fine, my legs are just not feeling fatigued at all. I just felt that fresh, which is crazy. Like I say, obviously I've run a tiny bit slower than my other times, but to finish like that compared to 2022 and 2023, that's the massive positive. That was the win of the day and I felt so positive about it all. There was one time where I actually stopped to walk for a few seconds, was when obviously I've had that pain going into the marathon, the metatarsalgia thing. Some people asked, did it affect the run? It did at about 36k, 37k. So luckily I was, you know, very late into the run. The sole of my right foot, so much that I had to sort of start to heel strike a little bit on the right side. And I was in the late stage, I was talking to people, I was chilling, and I was sort of shifting my weight onto my right side, my heel, right heel. And then I sort of jammed it and I felt my calf sort of like, kind of like pop or something. So I thought, oh my God, have I done something? It was fine, I just walked a few seconds and then carried on. I caught the guy who I was talking to and I carried on. So yeah, apart from that, absolutely no issues with the legs. But yeah, the foot of the sole, which I came into the marathon with, I felt that all through my long runs training. So I sort of knew what I had to do and just shift the weight onto my heel. It is hurting still after the marathon, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later. I'm still icing it, I'm rolling it, I'm stretching it, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, late stage marathon, I was it was a very different experience for me this time. Normally I'm in survival mode myself, but this time I was running past people, I was talking to people, trying to spur people on. I saw someone from Sheffield, I was sort of spurring them on, and I spoke to another person who, well, a few people that had also gone for sub 3, didn't manage to get sub 3. So I was just chatting and seeing a lot of people in a world of hurt, but this time I could just relax and, dare I say it, enjoy the late stage marathon. So yeah, a very different experience for me this time. Yeah, even though I've run a little bit slower, but not massively slower, people said, did the carb load help on the day? Absolutely, that's something I'm 100% going to do next time. The first time I ever did a structured carb load, like fueling, the chew bars, water stations, just a few sips. The chew bars were great. Didn't really think I needed the last ones. I didn't really ever feel low on energy, but I took it anyway just because it was in the plan. But fueling, carb load, made late stage. I think it must have had a massive impact on the way my legs felt and sort of the muscle fatigue. And obviously the strength work that I've done a lot of strength and conditioning. Yeah, felt fine, absolutely fine this time. That's why it was just so positive that day for me. And I wasn't bothered about the sub 3. I was just like, wow, very different to the last 2 times. But in Amsterdam as well, you know, where I fell on my arse at 38k. Also, the gamble that I took, where I took a lot less electrolytes than I did Amsterdam. They weren't in my chews. I took half a tablet in my bottle that I had. I took a full tablet in Amsterdam, and it was in every single gel, so far less electrolytes. I just didn't think I needed them. I didn't think that was why I got cramp in Amsterdam. I'm happy that gamble paid off, and it proper proved to me that it wasn't the issue with cramp. It was strength and conditioning, carb load, and it was warmer in Manchester than Amsterdam, so, you know, warmer, far less electrolytes, not a sign of cramp, not a sign of leg fatigue, nothing like that. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Another positive is it's another marathon. Even though it's not the time I wanted, it's another marathon in the bank. It's more experience. I'll keep going, doesn't matter, you know, I've failed 5 times. Who cares? I'll keep going. 6th time next time. It's just a number, I'll get there. It's consistent. I'm falling near 3 hours every time, even though I'm falling on the wrong side of 3. It's not like I'm running 3:20, 3:25 or anything like that. One day it's gonna click and I'm gonna get it. So that's the consistency. I do keep running very, very close, within a minute, sometimes seconds, of the 3 hours. So yeah, I'm happy with that. You know, I'd come to Manchester with Danny, obviously you've seen on the video, and he can't run. He would have been in white wave, you know, he was gonna run a fast time hopefully, and but he couldn't run, he's injured. You know, when I crossed that line, if I was to be like really grumpy and mardy and being all dramatic about failing by 1 minute, you know, I think Danny would have just slapped me around the face, and every right. So I can just go again, I can pick another race, I can train again, I can do the thing I love. Sometimes you just got to be happy and blessed that you actually, you know, you can go again. That's why, another reason why I was quite positive on the day. Let's go through the negatives. Well, the negatives is obviously the sub 3 is not done, and we carry on going. But the main negative for me was the early stage and how I started the marathon. I think that sort of cost me the whole race. How I started in the warm-up, start line and early stage. And I think it was down to nervous tension, because I could feel it in the warm-up. You know that saying when they say you can feel your heart pounding on your chest? I literally could feel it. It was like really, really like going. I was really in overdrive in the warm-up. And then when I joined the start line, my stomach was in knots. You know, on camera you probably saw me talking and smiling to people and stuff, but you know, it's just video. You can edit it and it can look like you're chilled, but inside I was dying. You know, you can't always believe what you see on sort of YouTube or social media, Instagram and stuff. I was in knots inside my stomach at that start line when people were coming to talk to me and things. I was just nervous about the marathon, nervous about late stage. I was thinking about Amsterdam. What am I going to be like late stage? The pressure, I don't want to fail a 5th time, all this sort of stuff going through my head. And you know, I was thinking about my foot as well, thinking, what if it comes in the first 20k like it did on my long run? It was really painful. I have to start heel striking, all these sort of things going through my head. But yeah, I was really scared about getting cramp. All this sort of stuff just rolling through my head in the warm-up. And you know, I thought I was being quite clever going to that retail park when it was quiet. I thought, you know, I'll just go there, I'll be able to concentrate, I'll be on my own, there'll be loads of space. When Neil and Danny left me, it was just really quiet. So quiet, I had all that time to sort of like think about stuff rather than talk to people and just have banter with people, which I would have done if I went to the start area. So I was sort of trying to be clever, but I think it backfired on me a little bit. I could hear the distance, you know, in the distance, this eerie sort of noise of the event. Everything was just like, I don't know, getting really nervous and tense. Next time I'd probably just go to the start event and just talk to people. And I know I was checking my watch on the video and talking about the heart rate being high and stuff. It was clear that my watch was showing not only a high number, but it was also locked high. So obviously it became very clear early on that I had to ignore that anyway, regardless whatever number it was. More going on perceived effort. I did mention on the video a few times that the perceived effort was bad. So whatever number it was on my watch, it doesn't really matter. I just knew that my heart was pounding, my stomach was in knots. When I started on the line, not even 1k at marathon pace, goal marathon pace, felt good. It just felt hard. You know, even at 5k I'd done like, 5k of it just felt gassed. So obviously I knew well before half marathon anyway. I spoke to people on the road saying it's not going to be today, but I was just running on the edge of sub 3, hitting a 1:30 half, and then I just let it go. I just stopped going to pace at all. I just went to feel, and I just wanted to finish the run as close to 3 hours as possible. But the important thing was to feel good. Don't enter that place where you're gonna get to that late stage marathon, feel horrible, start thinking about surviving, just feeling broken. I didn't want any of that this time. Get to late stage and feel good, and cross the line, feel good. And I did that, and I did it absolutely perfectly. So that was a positive. But yeah, the negative of the day was starting the race really poorly, and it just killed the race very early on. So got to work on that anxiety and nervous tension. And people have mentioned some sort of supplements, so I am having a look at that. So what's next? I'll quickly go into what's next. I'm now training for a half marathon, and my next race will be Manchester. Again, Manchester. It'll be the Great Manchester Run half marathon. So if anyone's there, I'll see you there. It's not a key race. It's going to be just run it hard, see where I am. But the key race that I am training for is Derby. I've run Derby many times, always managed to get a PB there. So that'll be the key race, which I'll be aiming hopefully for 120 or 121 for a big PB. But obviously if I get a low 122, I'll be fine as well. Any PB will be great. I'm already booked for Valencia, so those who are asking, are you going to go through another sub 3? I do have Valencia booked already at the end of the year, which will be another attempt. So yeah, obviously I'm going to keep going with the sub 3. So yeah, that's what I've got so far. I've not really got that much booked in. That's about it really, and I'll see you probably leading up to Manchester, just to tell you how training's gone and stuff. Right, I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.